Hey, what's up guys? This is Edward, and this is my 500,000 mile E46 track car. I'll do a little overview of how it is right now, how I ran it for the most part the last 2 years, year and a half. So first off, suspension is Koni yellows with Vogtland springs. Got solid driveline bushings, but all the other bushings are pretty much stock for now. I have new ones to put on. I do have white line rear trailing arm bushings. They're super easy to put in, and they're like $50, and they're some sort of poly that it's a little bit stiffer, and it includes the limiters. So let's go under the engine bay. I have maybe $5 grand in this car, and it's served me really well on the track. Yeah, my hood latch broke, and my friend had these laying around, so he gave them to me. Pretty much all stock under here. I have an AFE filter. Done some tuning. There's no reason it needs to be open like that. I'm just swapping ECUs in and out. But other than that, I have a vac. You can't really see it. ATI dampener, which is kind of necessary for going up to bumping up the red line. So one problem, I think partly because the car is so old. Well, first off, the strut towers were all mushroomed, and I hammered them down and have the reinforcement plate in there. You can see it. But see the drug bin, that's what I always hear people call it, and the ECU box. They are getting like torn apart, and I always thought the strut tower braces were pretty useless. I saw an article, I think World did, and they basically said that it did absolutely nothing, but all the spec E46 cars I saw that ran a strut tower reinforcement didn't have that problem, and the ones that didn't had that problem, or they welded in a new tab there. I think it's kind of messing up this car also was in a kind of minor accident. The hood is black because the old one was rusted, but you can see the panel gap is very inconsistent, and it even rubs on this side. I might have kind of messed up installing the hood, but I mean, it shouldn't really be that bad. And it is, like, I don't know, it's just messed up. I think that's the main thing I wanted to say. You can also see the headlights aren't really, this one sticks out and this one's in. I have a new bumper to put on it. I like completely gutted this one, and you can see it, like, I don't know, it's super open, and I think it's kind of contributing to some lift on the front end. So I have some aero ideas for what I'm gonna do. I've watched a lot of Kyle Engineers on YouTube. He does some really good videos. He does aero for Formula 1 now. And he did lots of really nice videos to kind of help regular people figure out what to do on their cars. Do a cut bumper. I'd like to do a full flat underbody and like diffuser and everything, but as my car sits, the class it slots into for NASA, the group I do track days instructing with, and yeah, the class it slots into, it's limited for aero to a wing, cut bumper, a diffuser, or I guess you could do a front diffuser. I don't know if you're allowed to really mess with it like that, but you can do a up to the line of the front axle, you can do a flat underbody, flat floor, whatever, and a splitter. But other than that, you can't really do anything, and you can do hood vents. One thing I did want to mention under the hood I plan to do for aero is I'm gonna cover the bottom of this up, because I don't have HVAC fully deleted, but I have the whole tray under there out. My car's, I'll show you the rest of it later, but it's pretty much entirely gutted. It's, last I weighed it, I've taken out the sunroof and added in a roll bar and taken out a few other little things, but last I weighed it, it was 2866, I believe. So it's pretty light. But yeah, this is here as an intake for your HVAC, because it's in a high pressure zone on your, I don't know, air kind of gets pushed up in here, and it's a high pressure zone. And I think maybe some air is venting out of it, but for the most part, I think air is probably going in and then it goes out under the car, which also contributes to some lift. My car, making it close to shit. My car pushes really bad at like high speed turns, especially like top of the S's at VIR. It just wants to push. Brakes, I run Hawk stock pads and rotors, or not pads and rotors, stock calipers and rotors. You can see I need to change these rotors. I get my money's worth out of them. I run Hawk DTC 60 or 70. I think I have 70s on it right now, but I go in between. I don't really notice any much of a difference. Kosei K1 wheels, Hankook Ventus RS4s. They're just great track day tire. I'm trying to step up, get some takeoff Hoosiers or Toyo RRs whenever the next track day event is. We had one coming up in 2 weeks and it got canceled for coronavirus, but it is what it is. But yeah, they last like a whole, I did like a full weekend every month pretty much, and they last a whole year. It could have lasted probably 2 seasons, but I still have an open diff on my car, and with the Vogtland springs and stock sway bars and everything, it gets a lot of roll. And my right rear, since most of my tracks run clockwise, lifts up, corner exit, and it just spins since it's open. And I went through one of those tires, and then I just put a new set. I also tried pulling a fuse that was supposed to only disable traction control, and I didn't notice it disabled ABS too, and I flat spotted one of those tires too. So I just got a new set, and I don't know. One thing I did get is I got ISC coilovers. Sorry, it looks like shit in here, but got ISC coilovers. I went with custom spring rates. You can send them any spring rate you want. It's kind of limited for really heavy springs, and it's kind of oversprung a bit, I think. So if I have full aero and Hoosiers, it's good, but for what I have right now, it's gonna probably drive like shit. And I got a Hotchkiss front sway bar. For now, I'm probably gonna disconnect the rear sway bar so I don't get a bunch of oversteer. So hopefully it will understeer with how it's set up until, I don't know, I just don't want to oversteer for my first event and wreck the car. I got the offset control and bushings from Condor. You can see this car it also was in a bit of an accident somewhere in the rear. You can see that this rear strut tower is smashed up a bit. I have reinforcement plates now. I'm gonna have to hammer that down or something and then reinforce it. Ideally, I'd run strut bars front and rear, but I don't really have money for that. I'm on this is like a shoestring budget car. One really sweet thing I got is this is a battery from a jump box, and it's been good for me. When I got this car, the battery compartment was rusted out completely. There was nothing there, so I put it back. I made a new little plate and everything, but I didn't repaint everything very good. I had a leaky battery, and I don't know. I'm probably gonna cut this all out and make it flat eventually, And I'd like to just do full aero, even though TT5 doesn't really allow it. But yeah, cut that out and then relocate my battery somewhere else. This battery is like 5 pounds or some shit. It's super light. I have a Odyssey battery that came out of my friend's car where a lot of the parts are from, like the roll bar, because he wrecked it. But the Odyssey battery has got to be at least 2 or 3 times heavier. That's a great battery. I'll put the link to it in the description. I don't know, I did like a really ghetto way to mount it in there, but it works. Let's see what else. So my seat, I got I don't know if it's Bimarco or Bimmer. I always say Bimarco. It's super dirty right now. The floor in the shop is disgusting, and I was laying down and then I sat in here without dusting myself off, so it's nasty. But I have a Bimarco seat. It's super fucking cheap, FIA certified. I have a couple years left on this. I should have bought some mounts, but I made these. I need to paint them. I was out of some rectangle, like square tubing. I cut it out and it works. My seat is kind of close, I think, for what most people do, but it's so it's how you're kind of supposed to sit. My arms are at 90 degrees when I'm sitting there, and I don't know, that's what's comfortable for me. So I have a, what is that, Kirk roll bar, 4-point cage roll bar. Yeah, I got it from, he made some nice reinforcement plates here. And for the mileage on this car and how old it is, it's pretty much rust free. There's a few little spots here and there. There was a problem where the floor got wet here and it was a little bit rusty, but this is just surface rust here. I got out the actual bad parts and fixed it. I used like a blow dryer or heat gun to get out the sound deadening, and you can see it looks like shit. It left. This is after like cleaning it with brake cleaner and gasoline and a bunch of nasty shit that I like couldn't really deal with too much. But I don't know. Use dry ice if you can. It just sucks getting that shit out of there. Let's see. I have my friend who wrecked his car. He had a nice oil pan with baffle welded in there, and I got that from him cheap too. So yeah, from him. It was really lucky for me, unlucky for him that happened, because I got lots of nice shit for cheap. I got the sunroof plug from him too. So yeah, helped me keep my budget down and be safe, most importantly. I think that's pretty much everything for this car. It was an auto. Manual swapped it, found out the engine was bad. Car was supposed to have 200,000, that's what the title said. And I looked up on INPA, because the odometer was kind of fucked with, and it has 500-something thousand miles. So we checked compression, and the head gasket had burned through. So, yep. And then also eBay headers. I should have said that when I went under the engine bay, but I'll put everything in the description too that I have right now and what I will have. I'll try to make videos as I go along, adding stuff onto it, but who knows? Who knows? So that is it. My brother's car is in here. He's working on a cage. There's a main hoop we made that got fucked up. He's on ISC coilovers as well. He tried to get closer to the spec E46 spring rates. I went a little bit different. I guess we'll see how it goes. His car worked good with the RS4s and the coilovers, but he also has a limited slip. Looks factory here, but we both have 346 rear ends, and I'm trying to go up to. He wants to go up to 364 out of a X3. You can get the gears out of there. He has the M factory diff. I am gonna try and see if I can get, this is a diff out of a E30 limited slip. That's a 410, and that's a little too quick for the gearing. 391 would be like the max I want to go. I looked at some GTS people, and I think based on their videos, it looked like they were running 391 rear ends in their E46 M3s. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and get some new gears for that and put it in, or I could sell it and, you know, buy an M factory one. But not paying racing diffs like $4 grand. That's ridiculous. He's got in the process of putting a M50 intake manifold on his car. It's a 328. I'm gonna do that on my car too when I have time or whatever. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much everything for my car. A little look at Elliot's car. We got a bunch of good deal on some tubing, so we're doing roll cages, and there's a new bumper I'm gonna put on. I'll make a video on that too. It's a sedan bumper, but I couldn't find anything online about getting it to fit, but I saw a video of a picture of a Spec E46, and it had an M-Tech 1 bumper, which is only available on the sedan. But yeah, that's my car. I'm gonna try and do Lexan windows, but I don't know. It looks really, I kinda like this, but I like the tint. It's like limo tint, but it looks kinda nice. Not legal for racing or anything, but yeah. It's an oil pan, and I got a gasket, and then my transponder, or not my transponder, my communicator. But yeah, that's everything. Have some more maintenance to do. It's really dirty, but whatever. It's a race car, not race car, yeah, track car. I beat the shit out of it, and I'm gonna clean it before the season starts. But yeah, I kind of like it being dirty. Yep, that is everything. We'll see if I need to edit this. I might just put it up as is. I didn't do too bad talking about everything. Yeah. Ooh, one thing I will mention. I said I had solid driveline bushings. I went with Condor. I should have got everything from Condor. I got Condor motor mounts, and then from Garagistic, I guess, I got trans mounts and subframe bushings. And it's got a weird vibration in the driveline. I have a new drive shaft I need to put in there now because it's destroyed the old one. But my brother, on his car, he used Garagistic too, and told me not to get them, and then I forgot or something. He installed the Delrin bushings in there, and you can see he had to weld up on his mount area here, because installing the bushing cracked the subframe. So yeah, all the Condor ones seem really good. I don't know. I didn't like the Garagistic stuff. The trans mounts didn't really fit right either. I had to like cut the mount, and I don't know. Yeah, I'd say stay away from them for the most part. I don't know. I might get some stuff from them later, but was not impressed. So yep, that's everything. I might go with some rebranding of my channel. I don't know. So far it's been like gaming stuff and some track day footage, but I might do more car stuff. We'll see. This has been too long, but that is everything I have for now. I'll do a video, try and do a video today on the bumper. It's not going to fit perfectly. It'll be better than it is right now, but I saw that picture and I think I have an idea of what to do to get that to fit right. So, yep. Thank you for watching. If you watched all this, I will see you next time. Bye.